Ain't this something? So I gonna say, Maury, why you so hard on these preachers and these pastors? Shouldn't you have the spirit of love to try to reach these brothers and, turn them? Woo, boy, y'all sure got the Hebrew Israelite faith and belief of the Torah and the Tanakh. Y'all got that thing so twisted. You think that this is that whole like Christianity, you gotta just love people and emotionally be getting attached to them. Let me tell you something. You better understand something in these last days. The spirit of the same prophets that you use, the spirit that they had was not like, oh, we just love them so much and we just wish. No. My job is not to try to fall in love with these false teachers and false leaders and false pastors to try to win them over to the truth by having some kind of emotional attachment to them. What are you talking about? My job is to wake up Jacob. My job is to get the true children of Israel to come out of these spiritual whorehouses. And when I say that, I don't mean it in a slight. I mean it for real. A whorehouse is a place where there's a mixture. And what is the mixture? Of Yah and Baal. Where you got so-called, I'm going to be teaching the Bible, but at the same time, we're going to break all the commandments because we don't believe in the commandments. The commandments have been done away with. Anybody going to any kind of house of worship where the leadership is saying you don't have to keep the commandments. You are going to a place where the pastor is under a strong delusion and love and just being soft and, oh, if you just get, that ain't what get people out of strong delusions. I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. It don't work like that. You're not going to read one prophet that went to one king and was trying to be all like, but you know what, I just love you, Ahab. I know Ahab, you're married to Jezebel, and you and Jezebel are just, you've done so much for the community, and I just really am going to continue to pray for you, and I just really hope that you, man, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happened was Elijah said, Ahab, the same place where you made that statement against Nabal, the dogs will lick your blood, and tell your wife, Jezebel, that the dog's gonna lick her blood too. So, hey, y'all got a problem. That's the spirit of the Bible preachers and prophets that you read. If you don't believe me, you keep reading Isaiah and tell me if he doesn't tell these preachers and pastors and folk. If you think that I'm being harsh on the leadership, you need to read the prophets. As I just mentioned, what did Elijah tell Jezebel? Oh, Jezebel, first lady, because she was the first lady. He did marry Jezebel, a witch. He didn't say, we just love you, First Lady, and we're praying, and we hope that the Most High change your heart, and that you be, no, listen here, First Lady, the dogs gonna lick your blood for the wickedness. I don't hear no, like, loving sweetness, because y'all don't even understand the Hebrew word for love anyway. The Hebrew word for love, ahava, does not even have anything to do with no feeling. Y'all still caught up in that Greek. The same stuff the Most High warned us about. The Greek. So when you use the word love, here y'all go. Is it agape? Is it phileo? Is it eros? It ain't none of them. It's ahava when the Bible talks about love. Loving you is not lullabying you. Loving you is not placating you. Loving you is not just saying, oh, I just want you to. No, loving oftentimes requires stern rebuke. If I see a brother in a burning house, and the house is on fire, and he's on the inside of the house, my love for him is, I'm not supposed to snatch him out the house with all my might, even if he's mad at me. If I gotta holler and say, man, get your blankety blank out the house. Oh, so that means that I don't love him. Oh, then y'all got love messed completely up. Don't mean that. Person's going astray, about to fall into a ditch. You don't just say, brother, please don't fall into that ditch, because I love you so much. You say, hey, and wake that brother up. Say, what's wrong, man? Dude, about to fall into a ditch. You didn't see that big ditch? It's like a person about to step on a snake. You're supposed to just say, hey, brother. No, man. Sometimes we got to snatch the brands out the fire. No, that was my point. I'm talking about the spirit of the prophets. Y'all need to go back and read the prophets and see whether or not they was all like this touchy-feely, softy type people trying to win over folk by how lovingly they spoke. That's not how it worked. Now, how do I know? Because I read the prophets several times. And when I hear them brothers talking about the whole head is sick, the heart is faint, you're only gonna get wicked and more wicked. When Isaiah, the one y'all love, when he got ready to call Judah and Israel, read it in your Bible in chapter 1 of Isaiah, he calls them Sodom and Gomorrah. He calls them Sodom and Gomorrah. Does that sound like some real nice, soft, loving words toward the Israelites? No. Okay, what about Jeremiah? When he calls them a wild dromedary sniffing up the wind. Talking about you all are like a camel in heat and any passerby can have you. So that sound like really soft talk? How about when Jonah got spit out the whale? He told the king, yet 7 days, man, this place is gone. And he left and went sat on a hill and was hoping the Most High destroyed Nineveh. What are you talking about? The spirit of the prophet is different than these little soft, sissy, everybody hold hands, kumbaya kind of preachers and pastors that we got today. That, by the way, are only teaching that message to you about no commandments because they're being paid to do it. How are you so hard on them? They're leading the people astray. That's why I'm hard on them. That's why I call them out. That's why I tell them what they're doing is satanic, because they already know it's satanic. I ain't telling them that they don't know. Not a preacher on this planet doesn't know that swine is forbidden to the children of Israel. They know that. They know it's a sin, but they tell you, you under grace, go on and do it. Really? So they're telling you to break the commandment of the Most High and do it based on the idea of grace, which they don't even know what that word means. Talking about grace is just, that's unmerited favor. Really? That's the Hebrew word for hen? That is not what the Hebrew word for hen represents. It may have a little bit to do with, that's not the root word for hen. Y'all know that. Well, man, they don't know. Then this is another lie they keep telling. Man, my people ain't ready. No, you ain't ready to lose money. Be honest and tell the truth. I respect you more if you be honest and just say, you know what, man? Here's my issue, Rev. If I tell people the truth, they're going to leave my church. I'm going to lose my job. They're not going to ask me to pray for the high school graduation, and I won't be at City Hall. Just be honest, man. Say, hey, dude, I'm caught up in the system, and I like it. I like my name in lights. I like being able to go to this revival and do that meeting. I don't want to be like you, put off to the side and everybody think it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm hard on the preacher. Of course I am. But I'm hard on the preacher because, one, I want to shake him woke. You need to be woke up. And you already woke, you know better. That's the problem. Preachers know better. But the second thing is, I'm trying to get the people that are being brainwashed constantly by these false preachers and teachers who have taken the positions of kings. See, that's where I'm going with this. They are taking the position that they now rule the house of Israel. Trying to get the people to see that these so-called leaders are what the Hamashiach called a hireling. They're working for money. Period. Power, status, to be able to be called Doc. But when it comes to the actual Bible, anybody telling you you don't have to keep a command, can you understand how dumb that is? It's a command. What do you mean you don't have to keep a command? Woo. So, yeah, why you so hard? Man, you so hard on these preachers, boy. Why you be so hard on the preacher? What are you talking about? You gotta be, who else is gonna do it? Everybody else scared. I ain't scared. For what? Our people are perishing because we keep telling them we're not under the laws of the Most High, that we don't have to keep His commandments. And then you turn around and wonder why they keep shooting each other in Chicago to the tune of over 700 deaths last year. Because Reverend, you told them there was no law. That's why they did it. You said the 10 commandments been nailed to the cross. So guess what? Thou shalt not kill is out the window. So they're going to do what? Kill. It's just the way it get down, man. That's how it goes. Man, we need to do something about this teen pregnancy. No, ain't no laws, Rev. You said to them that we free from the law, so they're going to keep operating in adultery and fornication. We got to do something about this abortion thing. It ain't no laws. You free from the law, so you can kill your babies. That's what you're teaching. And you want me to be soft and be easy on the preacher to take away the foundation and the only thing that can actually help our people? Wow. No, you got the wrong preacher. You got the wrong moray. I'm never going to be that guy. I'm going to always be the one saying it's the leadership. Because the leadership is what has the fellowship. And all I care about is people coming back to the Most High Yah and keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments that He told us to keep. Because that's why we're in the condition we're in. When you tell a person there's no laws, there's no rules, there's no consequences, everything is cool and dandy, you already know that they're going to live a life of debauchery. And then kind of want to holler grace. Don't even understand what the word grace means. So, yeah, I am hard on the preacher. If you don't know what ahava mean, look it up. We live in that day. So I'm going to be in the same spirit of Elijah, the same spirit of Isaiah. And I already know what you're saying, but you know what happened to him, don't you? Elijah ended up broke by the river. Yeah. You think I don't know that? Isaiah got sawn in half. You think I don't know that? If you keep doing what you're doing, same thing will happen to you. Jeremiah got thrown in a pit. You think I don't know that? Look, I'm all in. When I picked up the prophets and read what they said to the powers that be, beginning with Jerusalem and Judea, and then to the surrounding areas, and I watched how they ended up in life. All of them. I said, oh, wow. If you ain't willing to die, this ain't the business you're supposed to be in. This business right here will get you killed. And it'll starve you out also. And you might have to wander from den to den and cave to cave. And maybe you have to deal with peril and sword and being ostracized. You might have to deal with some name calling. You might have to deal with this whole separate. Hey, it's part of the walk for me. I'm all in. So yeah, if you get offended by how the message hits you, how about go study to see whether or not I'm telling the truth? see whether or not the scriptures and the spirit of the prophets, were they soft, mealy mouth, walking on cotton type preachers to the powers that be, or did they preach with power and understanding that they was offending the ones they were talking to? Check it out. Because you know I could go through each prophet, each book, and I could show you that these prophets didn't have that kind of spirit. Whew. They running through my head right now, and this video is gonna get way too long because our Hamashiach did the same thing. You snakes, you vipers, you generation of vipers. Oh, you didn't hear him say that? You didn't hear him talking to the Pharisees, talking about you whitewashed sepulchres? Oh, that sounds, really? You didn't think he talked like that? He called them whitewashed sepulchres. He said you gotta, outside of your tomb is painted, but inside you dead men's bones. That was the Hamashiach that said that. Oh. Maybe he came in the same spirit that the other prophets came in, baptizing not only with water but fire, which represents judgment. The leadership is the problem. I've said it for years. But the fellowship is also the problem when they would love to have it just like it is. Shalom.